a story worth hearing. Everyone has something that makes them, them. Join us as we discover the rich history of the everyday person around you. Watch People We Know and Stories We Don't exclusively on KingDavidNetwork.com/KDNTV. People We Know and Stories We Don't is lovingly dedicated by the network in memory of Sarah Chaya Bas Mendel Colbert. May she have an elevation in heaven. Mrs. Colbert, of blessed memory, was the secular principal of Yeshiva Beth Yehuda in Southfield, Michigan, and has touched the lives of hundreds of students, creating everlasting impacts upon them and their future generations. It is in her merit that we spread the beautiful stories of the everyday people and share them on King David Network, Judaism for ears, heart, soul. All right, and we are here with Marian McClellan, the mayor of my hometown since I was born, Oak Park, Michigan.
Hi, Devin. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show, Mayor McClellan. So let's delve into who you are outside of the mayor office.
Okay, all right.
Tell us, where were you raised?
I was born in the city of Detroit. I haven't moved more than probably 10 miles in my whole life. I went to McDowell Elementary and Mumford High School and Wayne State University. And I taught school for 32 years.
Wow.
And when I retired, somebody talked me into running for mayor.
What was your childhood like?
My childhood was lovely. A little known fact is that I've been a horse lover since I was 2. And my parents took me to Palmer Park, and they had a mounted division of the Detroit Police Department there. And I wandered up to one of these enormous horses to pet it, and the highest I could reach was its knee. So I petted it on its knee. And I have a recent picture from the 4th of July parade where the Oakland County Sheriff sent 2 mounted officers there. And I was posing with the horse after I petted it on the neck and on the cheek and on the nose. And I was smiling, and the horse was just standing there. And then the horse turned and nibbled me on the cheek, and I was laughing and laughing. Happy horse fan.
What are some of your hobbies in your spare time?
I liked biking. I'm an avid reader. I can't go to sleep without reading for 40 minutes. I like working in the garden. I planted sunflowers this year, and the squirrels I planted probably 100 sunflowers in the front, and the squirrels got all but 3. But the first time I did that 3 years ago, I got a 10-foot sunflower.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we brought sunflowers to the city to be kind of a symbol of hope and growth and sunshine. And sunflowers, at the beginning at least, follow the sun.
Right.
And then when they get a certain age, they point east.
Okay. What are some of your favorite authors to read?
You know, when I was little, I loved fantasy. So I liked Alice in Wonderland because I thought I was a shy little kid, afraid of my own shadow, and Alice had chutzpah. And uh, she came into unusual circumstances and could be scary, but she was just curious, and I liked that nothing phased her.
Okay. And now, as you got older, who do you like to read?
Oh my. Um, Let me think. Let me think. I'm always reading. I Mysteries are kind of a favorite, uh, because life can be so sometimes chaotic and not predictable. But in a mystery, the good guy is going to solve the mystery at the end, and it's very calming.
Okay. What are some of your pet peeves?
Pet peeves, my dear. Um, ah, Golly sake. You know, I'm pretty positive, and things don't bother me a whole lot. Um, I, uh, if somebody calls me and they're upset or anything, it doesn't bother me. I figure I'm here to serve. And so, angry residents calling because their garbage wasn't picked up or something, it just, I'm so sorry. We're in a period of flux right now, and I understand that you're upset, and here's what we're doing to fix it. So things generally don't bother me.
Okay.
I'm a goody two shoes.
So you said that you were a teacher before you became mayor.
Yes.
What was that like?
I love that. That was just fabulous. I taught second grade for a really long time, and I loved figuring out why one of the kids was having trouble reading, and I loved sort of diagnosing it and fixing it, and I loved sort of breaking down hard math and making it simple. I remember clocks were so confusing, and so we started out with just like which one is the hour hand and which one is the minute hand, and then when you know that, then you move on to the next level of it. So I loved breaking it down so that the kids would understand it and liked it. And we did a poetry tea, and that was great fun. They would find their favorite poems, and they could read them with a friend or with three friends, kind of a performance thing. And I taught reading through that, and using good expression, and stopping for a pregnant pause, and kids loved reading from that. And so I had a ball teaching.
Okay. So, what made you go into politics?
Oh my gosh, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. My husband had been active in politics, and my son Andy Meisner was the state rep for our area for 6 years, and then was our Oakland County treasurer for 12 years. And so he was very interested in politics. And there was a meeting at his house about somebody should run for mayor. And I thought I was just coming to bring the donuts. And so they said, you need a woman mayor. And they looked at me and they said, how about you running? I said, no, I'm a teacher, I don't know municipal government. I've never run for anything. We'll help you. Let's do this. So in a moment of great weakness, I said, okay. And then I remember after everybody had taken petitions to get signed and all of that, I stepped out on the front porch and thought, what have you done? I am the shy kid who for a lifetime was really not teaching, of course, but was afraid of public speaking, afraid of not talking to groups of kids, that didn't count, but talking to people, oh my gosh, I was terrified. So I remember I waited to take speech class, and my paper was shaking. I was reading it, and I was shaking so hard that the paper was rattling. So it dawned on me. I thought, you're going to have to give speeches, and I remember I went to Toastmasters. It's like how to help people with speaking and stuff like that. And I was too scared to get up in Toastmasters and do a practice speech even. And then I kept doing it, and they invited me to, I went to Wayne, and they invited me to speak at the graduation. So by then I had gotten over my fear, and I think the trick was, instead of thinking like, do I look okay, and what do they think of me, like, what do I have to say, what do I have to give them, what gift do I have to give them, something that I know that I'd like to pass on to other people. So the trick to getting over the fear was focusing on them and what they need to hear, and not on me and whatever my insecurities were.
Okay. You said that you went to Wayne. What did you study there?
I studied general ed for 2 years and elementary ed for 2 years. They teach you how to teach reading to little kids, and it was really interesting. To bring you back to when you didn't know the alphabet, and when everything was new, they made up like a fake alphabet for the teachers, like an A was a triangle, and like a Hebrew alphabet, say, or just different symbols. But and then they gave you little words like, play Sally or something, and it was so hard to remember what those little symbols stood for, and it brought you back to when you were first learning how to read, and it put you in the place of the kids. It was so interesting.
Wow. Were you part of any clubs in college?
I was pretty much a nerd in college. I lived at home. I took the bus. I came home and studied and underlined and took notes and copied my notes over. I was sure I was going to flunk out of college because I was so full of confidence, So I worked really, really, really hard and did a lot of studying and was not active. Just kind of came home and studied and went back and was a book nerd.
Okay. So you've been mayor for about 10 years now.
Yes.
In all those years, what project are you most proud of?
Oh, golly. Oh, boy. There's lots. We, 11 Mile Road was kind of a tired, formerly like industrial buildings, small tool and die shops and that kind of thing. And they sort of went out. And so it was just a tired area.
Mm-hmm.
And we rezoned it. So it was zoned only for light industrial, and we changed it to mixed use, which is kind of boring, but it means that you can get different kinds of uses in there, like restaurants and retail and stuff like that, to make it fun. And so we have, from nothing, we have now 5 restaurants there. There's Oak Park Social. There's 2 breweries, which I thought could be kosher. I thought I saw people drinking the beer. Is beer kosher?
It depends on what it's made with.
Right. Because so there's 2 breweries there. There's a coffee shop. there's going to be a Mexican restaurant, another restaurant. But even if you don't go there, it brings liveliness. We have events there in the back in the parking lot. We're going to fix up the parking lot and plant plants there and flowers there and make it like a big place to gather and hear a concert or have an event. And it's been very popular. We've had a couple concerts there already. And we've like birthed an exciting area out of something that was tired. We thought of a reuse of that area. And so it had been tired and was kind of going downhill. And now somebody told me Oak Park has a cool vibe. Granny bought a cool vibe to Oak Park.
Okay. What are some of your favorite Oak Park establishments?
Oh my, oh my. There are lots of places that have been in Oak Park for a long time. There's on 9 Mile Road, there's a hardware store that has been there forever, since the 40s. I think the owners got married, and they used their wedding money to start the hardware store. And it's grown ever since. I think it's moved across the street a couple times, but it's still there. And the daughter of the original family owns it, and it's big on service. It's big on having events there. It's a lovely community hardware store. I love our local businesses. I know that some Orthodox women opened a little store in Lincoln Center, and I went to visit with them, and it was lovely. I know that there's in Lincoln Center is there still the place that sells things like cups and paper plates and stuff like that. Is that still going?
I'm not sure.
Okay, because I know things like Dave's Burgers. I know I did a lot to promote Dave's Burgers when that was on the corner, because he had some really delicious stuff. I think they're in Israel now. Let's see. They're just we're trying to get small local businesses thriving. We don't want chains and big time things. We want to keep it real local, and we want all the communities represented. Oak Park is one of the few racially mixed, religiously mixed, stable cities anywhere.
Really?
Honestly. There was a big thing with white flight that the neighborhoods moved north and north in the Detroit area. You know what I mean? Like the white flight, they moved further north. When it was going to hit Oak Park, I think it was the Federation maybe that said enough already. So they offered interest-free loans if Jewish people would come and buy houses in Oak Park, or if they wanted to like expand the house to add on to the house, an interest-free loan. And the purpose was to make this a stable place. So even today, if you go to Jerusalem, people know Oak Park, Michigan.
Wow.
So the Jewish community stayed and is coming back. Younger people whose parents moved out of Oak Park to get a bigger house in Farmington or something like that, their kids are moving back into Oak Park. The mayor of Pleasant Ridge, his kids live in Oak Park. I just met a couple who moved to Oak Park because they liked mid-century modern vibe here. The 50s, the whole city kind of exploded in the 50s, from a couple thousand to 30,000, from one school to 10 schools. And so there was a lot of sudden growth then, and it was all 50s. So there's a lot of 50s modern houses in Oak Park, most of them. Some were from the 40s, but that was not so common.
Mm-hmm.
I think our house was built in 1955, and it's been booming. But it is a diverse community that's calm, and people get along great. There hasn't been an issue. Our police department, our police chief, I think, is a saint. He's a wonderful guy who reaches out to all members of every community in Oak Park. I think he was known to go to some lady who couldn't mow her lawn and couldn't get the free service and mowed her lawn. The police chief is mowing the lady's lawn.
Wow.
He is just a mensch and a half, and bends over backwards to be sensitive to the community. The Jewish community, the black community, the white community, everybody. And since I was mayor, we've had 5 recreation directors. So the last one is a gem. Tall blonde lady from Oakland Recreation. And everybody's always said, we'd like to have men only swim and women only swim, but we have to have it like a bricked off. So everyone that came, I said, can you arrange this? No, it's too expensive to build the wall. We can't do it. It's not in the budget, and on and on. This last lady, Lori Stasiak, gets together with DPW and comes up with a curtain that you can pull open and shut, that during men's only swim and women's only swim, it can block off the view from anybody going by, so it's private. And it was inexpensive, and it was brilliant. And it was bending over backwards to bring the community in. And the Orthodox community are best customers at the pool. So it's been fabulous. It's been wonderful. So that's one thing. And then, every event, a lot of events, we were going one year a Saturday and one year Sunday, so that both communities could do it. This past year we had a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday event with rides and all kinds of wonderful things. And it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so that everybody could participate. And at all of these events, we make sure that there is kosher food available. And so, and we learned early, if we brought donuts from Dunkin', that we left them sealed and let the rabbi open them. So we're getting good.
Yeah, I remember growing up, the 4th of July parade, even if July 4th was on a Saturday, the parade would be on Sunday or Friday.
Right, okay.
I love the 4th of July parade. It's one of my favorite pastimes.
Oh, and what do you love about it?
So the best part is when my nieces were much younger, I would take them and we would walk behind the fire truck so we'd be part of the parade and no one knew.
Ah, fabulous, fabulous.
And they'd be waving their flags and sometimes handing out candy and we just joined the parade at the end.
What a good deal, what a good deal.
And it made their 4th of July party
special because they were in the parade.
Yep.
That is so cute. I remember we lived in Huntington Woods for a short time, and they had a section where all the kids could decorate their bikes with balloons and flags and crepe paper, and there'd be a little, like a tricycle section, like you and your nieces and nephews, and they would all be in the parade.
Cool.
And my favorite thing from that parade, they had a drill team. A drill team is usually like in the Army where they march in step and everything, and so this drill team had, they were holding electric drills and hand drills and marching on the drill team and doing like turning all together and marching all together. It was hilarious.
My oldest sister's favorite part of 4th of July is the Battle of the Bands in the park afterwards.
Oh, cool. That's fabulous.
I don't know if they did that this year. I didn't stick around.
I know that they had one band at least in there. I don't know if they had a whole battle this year, but the rec department tries to, like, if it comes up to a certain level this year, next year it's going to be bigger and better. So their goal is always to make it bigger and better each year. And so, and if you want to be in the parade, you can fill in a little form and be like an official member of the parade with the kids.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, if they would like to. I mean, I don't. If everybody dress up in red, white, and blue, and wave flags or whatever, I think you just fill in a little form, and you can be in the parade officially.
Cool.
And then you were invited by the mayor herself.
What were some of the struggles during COVID?
Oh, gracious mercy! It was a terrifying time. I don't know if you remember back when everything was shut down, and you could only be with people in your own family. I remember going to visit my little grandchildren, like 6 and 4, and I went to their front window and I put my 2 hands on the window, and they on the other side of the window put their hands on my hands.
Aww.
And that to me was like the picture of how separated we had to be during that terrible, frightening time where there was no vaccine, and people were getting terribly sick, and the city had to change the way we were doing things so that it was safe. Whoever could started working from home, and of course police can't and DPW can't, and so we started making payments more easy, that you don't have to come in and make the payment. You can charge it or have it come from your bank account, or so that there would be no contact. It wouldn't be so frightening. We also, as soon as the vaccines became available, we partnered. There was an Oak Park woman who worked at Henry Ford Hospital, and together we arranged so that you could get a COVID shot in the community center.
That's where I got mine.
That's where you got yours. Fabulous. So it was a handy place where everybody knew, where everybody was comfortable coming, and it took a lot of behind the scenes finagling to get everything still working in kind of a new way. And it was sad. It was like we couldn't have concerts in the park. We couldn't have the 4th of July parade. We couldn't, it was like a time of almost mourning. People were very sick. Carolyn Burns, our city councilwoman, lost her favorite brother, died. Her younger brother died of COVID. 2 uncles died of COVID. So it's like it touched us. Oak Park was one of the first communities in the state to become a COVID hotspot. And so we right away tried to work to make sure that we were doing everything to keep everybody safe. And I remember people, when I was taking my daily walk, people were putting signs in their windows, encouraging signs, "We can do this," or having the kids write in chalk on the sidewalk, pretty flowers or something, so that people going by got a positive message. And I think that's when I started my Dogs of Oak Park pictures. So if I was walking and somebody was walking with their dog, I would start talking to them because I by then come out of my shy little phase. And how are you? How long have you been in Oak Park? When did you get the dog? What kind of dog is it? And what goofy thing does your dog do? Things like, like no shoes are safe. If you don't put your shoes in the closet, the dog plays chase around the house with your shoe. Sorry. Just goofy stories to make people smile and to bring us together because we were feeling so isolated from one another.
What are some of your favorite movies to watch?
Oh, mercy. There was Chariots of Fire was about a race long ago, and I think there was a Jewish competitor in that race, and there was who refused to race on the Sabbath, and it was very inspiring. They were running on the beach. They were training really hard. I think it was the Hitler Olympics. My husband, by the way, wrote is a writer and has published several books and is a historian. He studied at the University of Chicago and studied historiography and stuff, and did when he retired started doing track and field history, the history of football, and track and field history. We interviewed a Jewish guy in New York who was working for an office company, and his job was delivery boy. So they would give him 2 nickels to take the trolley to deliver the envelopes and paper with the logo of the company on it and that kind of thing, and then to come back. So he realized that if he, carrying all this stuff, took the trolley there, but pocketed the nickel and ran back, he could save a nickel every trip. And so he did a lot of running during the day, and a track group in New York saw him and suggested that he became an Olympic runner.
Wow.
From running on his job, saving nickels.
Wow. Who is someone that you personally admire?
Oh my. There was a black senator, Barbara Jordan, from Texas, who was brilliant, worked with people who were kind of anti-black, but helped them. She was so brilliant that she knew how things worked and she could get things passed. She said, I will help you get this passed that you want, and I want you to sign on to help me help my people. And I think when she was dying of MS, she kept going, and she didn't complain. She just said, I have a mobility issue. Other than that, she kept working, and she was brave and principled, courageous, bright, competent, caring, and effective. And I heard this story when I was going through a difficult time, and she sort of inspired me to keep going.
Okay, very nice. What are some of your goals for this coming year?
We want to totally redo the when the city was built. I think there are 10 parks, and the Shepherd Park is the one that has gotten the most tender loving care.
That's the train one, right?
Everybody calls it the Train Park or the Hill Park.
I call it Oak Park Park Park.
Oh, right. When I was little, my dad took me to the Oak Park Hill. That was what we called it, to go sledding.
Yep.
And when I had kids, I took them to go sledding, and I took them to the train. And it's sort of like the identity of the city. It goes generations of families have come to have fun there. So that's a lovely park. But there's 9 others, and should be trails between them so you can ride your bike from one to the other. There should be amenities in each one of them. There should be a splash pad available for the kids that can't afford to go to the pool for the $3 or whatever it is a time, that they can get wet and have fun and play and not have to pay anything. And so we are totally redoing our parks. So there's a million things you can possibly put in a park. So if you have a lot of people in the city who play tennis, you invest $300,000 in each tennis court. You know what I mean? And but if you don't have a lot of tennis players, you want to put that $300,000 someplace else where people would have more fun using it. So the first thing that we did is we hired this company to have meetings with the community and say, what do you want in this park? What would you use? What would you come to the park to use? Do you want picnic tables so that you can have a picnic? Do you want climbing toys? Do you want workout stuff? What specifically does our community want? If you could have your druthers, what would you druther have in a park? And so we had lots and lots of meetings and invited people to come and tell us what do you want in the park. Like, there's Wi-Fi you can have Wi-Fi in a park. And so if you want to bring your computer and work in the park, if the park has Wi-Fi, you can do that. If there's nobody who would use that, we would use that money somewhere else and do something different. So the first thing we did was something very innovative. There is a park on 9 Mile Road, like a linear park. Have you seen it? Have you driven?
I have not.
Oh, your assignment.
But I've seen pictures.
Okay, your assignment is to drive down 9 Mile toward Ferndale and look at the park, because it's like everything is kind of in a row. It's a long, skinny park along 9 Mile, and it's meant for school-age kids, not little toddlers who would run into the street. It's for school-age kids, 5 to 13 or something. So so there's a ninja challenge, and my grandchildren, aged 9 and 6, love to go on the ninja challenge and see if they can do all the things. And there's going to be a pass-through park to the neighborhood in the back, so with wheelchair accessible things there, and one of those line things that you can go flying through the air holding onto the line thing. It is an amazing new park. It's an amazing new concept that you have it not hidden away. You have it right on 9 Mile Road. It has been landscaped beautifully. There's going to be trees. Every place you sit, there's either going to be shade from the tree or shade from one of those triangle things that they put over the top to bring shade. And already we've got a trailhead where if you're riding your bike to 9 Mile Road, there's a place at the trailhead you can put air in your tires.
Oh, cool.
Or you can sit. There's a picnic table there. Or you can rest if you're taking a bike. Or you can meet people. We're going for a bike ride. We can meet at the trailhead. And so then there's 2 pocket parks on the north side of 9 Mile Road. And one has like really hard, a really huge hard climbing thing that would be a challenge for you, I think. And so there's that one. There's a life-size chessboard on the other one, and it's a place. It used to be just a place between the street and the alley that looked bad. So we closed off the street, we closed it off in front of the alley, and turned it into a beautiful place with flowers and signs and amenities for people to gather and have a cup of coffee or come and have a picnic. Or it's taking tired, sort of sad things that would be in the city and repurposing them and freshening them up and making them wonderful. And so there's that's like the beginning park, and it was funded by grants. We had grants to fund it because there wasn't money in the budget to fund it. So we wrote away for grants, and we cooperated with Ferndale, and we put the street on a street diet. So it was 5 lanes. So it's hard if you're on a walker or if you're pushing a stroller or if you walk slowly, hard to get across all of it. And we didn't need that many lanes anymore. So we turned 2 of the lanes into bike lanes and added parking for the stores that were nearby, and added beautiful things, landscaping to raise the level of to make us proud. When you drive by 9 Mile Park, you're like, that's sharp. That's really pretty. We're proud to be there. Your assignment is to take your nieces and nephews to the park and try it out.
What is something that you noticed 10 years ago when you first started as mayor to now to be a huge difference?
I think there's I think when I started, there was a financial difficulty. We were on the watch list for a financial manager from the state. Everything looked tired. People who worked for the city, morale was low. One of the police officers says, I don't even know if it's going to be a city when it's time for me to collect my pension.
Wow.
So morale was low. Nothing was happening. We were in a slump. So we hired a young city manager, young, effective, with lots of ideas and energy. And he, instead of saying, oh, this is depressing, said, this is a blank slate. Nothing's been done in 20 years to change this. We can do whatever we want. We can make it fabulous. So he had like a vision for what could be there. And we've been working to bring that vision to true. So 9 Mile, when you build a park, you think it's just a park. But it does more than just a park where people gather and have fun and it's beautiful. It draws people out in the neighborhood. When people are out, maybe they go to the pizza store across the street to have a pizza, or they're thirsty and they buy some pop from one of the stores across the street or down the way. More people and looking better raises the neighborhood. So pretty soon, instead of tired old, like we hired a consultant to look at 9 Mile, and she said, there's no there. There's nothing that would bring you on purpose to go there. Well, now there's something to bring you on purpose to go there, to bring the kids in your family to play on the Ninja Challenge. And so there's people there. It raises the value of the commercial property nearby. So you start to get better retail, better things that would actually draw people. Oh, that's a cool store. I'm going to go there. I like old toys, and they're selling old toys, and I'm going to go get old comic books and stuff like that. Whatever it is that draws you, it raises the value of the commercial property near the park. So 11 Mile is like rebirthed into a place where I went to one of the breweries was having a grand opening on 11 Mile, and I see this cute blonde girl there, and now that I'm the mayor and I'm a big mouth, I talk to everybody. So I said, "Where are you from?" She's from Grosse Pointe. I said, "You drove from Grosse Pointe to Oak Park to go to the brewery?" "Yeah," she said, "my girlfriend lives in Ferndale and she said it was really fun here." So
Wow.
it's like becoming a regional attraction. It's like day and night from what it was. And we're not done yet. We're just at the beginning. We're gaining momentum. When you're doing economic development, you know, you start small, but it starts on a roll, and that's where we're gaining momentum. Things are happening. Businesses are getting interested in coming here. Young people are interested in moving back here. It's like we're in the middle of a transformation, and we aren't done yet. Hang on to your seatbelt. We're on the move.
Okay. When you eventually retire from office, what is your goal?
You know, when I retired from teaching, I went to a therapist, and I said, you know, teaching has been my entire life and my identity, and my home and all of this. She said, when you retire, whatever it is that you do, make sure that you're giving back, that you're making a difference, that you have purpose in your life. And so I'm not sure what my next step is, but I know I'm not going to play golf and go to lunch. You know, I'm going to continue to try and make a difference. And without being too corny, it's like service. I feel like if you're a public servant, the accent's on the service part. Your job is to serve other people. And so I work for you and your mom and your neighbor and the guy down the street, and you're the boss. And so I put my cell phone on my business card. And I don't just give it to big shots. I give it to everybody who lives in Oak Park who's standing up and will take the card. And so, and I say, if you have a question about the garbage, or if you have a question about your street, or anything with Oak Park, and you don't know who to call me. The city is open Monday through Thursday, but I'm 24/7. So feel free to call me. I'm accessible, and I'm here to serve. And I think that passion for serving goes on whatever role you're playing.
Okay. Is there anything you would like to add as we wrap up?
Oh my, just thanks for inviting me. I'm excited to be famous on the radio.
And TV.
And TV. Holy cow.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Marian McClellan, for joining us on People We Know, Stories We Don't. It was a pleasure getting to know you from outside of the mayor office and seeing who you are as a person.
David, it was a pleasure talking with you. Don't be a stranger. And if you have any questions, give me a call.
All right.